Welcome into the show, everybody. A Trea Turner special Farsi show. As Trea Turner, I'm parched already. Let me just drink from my delicious Phillies Red October cup. Delicious. Phillies get Trea Turner. I've been telling you all along, follow the bouncing ball. Trea Turner's going to come here. I think most people in the right mind realized Trea Turner was going to come here. Was just talking to PJ right before the show, and he's like, I didn't expect it to happen this early. I was thinking the same thing. I thought it was going to be a long, drawn-out process where Aaron Judge was going to sign somewhere, and then Trea Turner was going to sign somewhere else, and it was going to be Aaron Judge kind of setting the market, if you will, a little bit, and then Trea Turner would decide where he was going to end up going. And the reason it would go in that order, as opposed to like Trea Turner signing and then Aaron Judge signing, then he'll get more money, obviously. Well, he's going to get more money regardless. But it's the fact that it's going to be so much money for Aaron Judge. I don't think he gives a damn what Trea Turner is going to be making wherever he was going to end up, which is obviously now here in Philadelphia. 11 years, $300 million. That's a real number. Again, Phillies numbers are off the charts when it comes to what they're paying these guys. When I don't know if anyone ever said something so bold and backed it up more so than John Middleton and stupid money. And I know he was just talking about Bryce Harper when he was talking about that, but the stupid money has continued. Bryce Harper, the stupid in this world is a great thing, by the way. It's not a negative. Bryce Harper. Then you got the Kyle Schwarber fella, good money. He's actually the cheapest of all these guys. Nick Castellanos, Zach Wheeler, you got in here as well, and now Trea Turner as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. We'll get into that. I got my lineup ready to go for you. Some people will like it, some people won't like it, but I got my lineup that I like right now. Tomorrow it might be a different story. But the lineup I like right now, I'll present to you coming up in a little bit. Sixers lose in double overtime last night. Joel Embiid ends up fouling out. And I still think it's a bogus call. I don't care how many times you're going to review it, but I think it's a bogus call. And then the Flyers, the Flyers just showing off now? Didn't they just win last week? They won again last night? Oh, my God. Scorching hot. And Tom Brady, the lovable man that he is, helps the Eagles last night with a amazing comfort behind win over the New Orleans Saints. Oh, my Lord. What a comeback for Tom Brady, the Buccaneers, on the Saints, helping the Eagles. If the season ended today, the Eagles would have been at the fifth pick, the fifth overall pick. So the Eagles could potentially have, right now, the number one seed in the NFC, the number one seed in the NFC, and the fifth overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. If that's not more of a cherry on top of the ice cream sundae, or the sundae there, the hot fudge sundae, if that's not a cherry on top of Howie Roseman being executive of the year, I don't know what is. All right, let's get into Trea Turner. As I have been saying since Bryce Harper sat in the broadcast booth, and he was asked by Tom McCarthy, hey, who's your favorite player to watch right now? And he responded with Trea Turner. I said, welp. JT Realmuto was his favorite catcher. He's here now, and they re-signed him after you had a guy like Bryce Harper constantly say that you got to sign JT. They signed JT. The minute I heard, and I looked it up, Trea Turner is a free agent after this year. He's going to be a Philadelphia Philly in the not-too-distant future. And sure enough, he is. You followed the last remnants of the bouncing ball yesterday. Jeff Passan right here on ESPN putting it out. Shortstop Trea Turner and the Philadelphia Phillies are in agreement on a contract. The source tells ESPN. Bob Nightingale picks up the rest of it here. Trea Turner gets 11 years, $300 million with the Phils. Phillies paying Trea Turner $27.27 million a year with no deferrals. There is a no trade clause, which I'll tell you right now, I don't care about. I know what about, later in the career when he's like 40, for instance, and him and Bryce Harper are using walkers to get around the bases, and they're wearing glasses. I don't know what's going to happen then. I'll tell you, first off, I don't really care. Ask me that in 10 years. Ask me that in 11 years. Ask me that in 8 years, right? I don't care at this point what happens then. And as far as the no trade clause, whatever. Full no trade clause or not, whatever. We don't know what's going to happen in 5. We don't even know what's going to happen this year, let alone 5 years, let alone 11 years. What I'm telling you is things can change. A player can say, you know what, I'll waive the full no trade clause and I'll go wherever you need me to go. I doubt that'll happen. But I'll go somewhere else that's a winner, someone else that can pay me that money. The Phillies will obviously probably have to pay some of that money. But $27 to $28 million a year for 11 years, just like Bryce Harper's deal, by the time his skills really start to deteriorate, his money is going down significantly. With the way we see money being thrown about, like Justin Verlander, for instance, like $40 million a year to get paid by the Mets now to team up with Max Scherzer again. No, I'm not that terrified of that. Yes, it's a hell of a rotation yet again. DeGrom, of course, goes elsewhere. He goes to the Rangers. But you bring in a guy like Verlander to team up with Scherzer again. What a beautiful thing. They're going to be teammates again for the first time since they were in Detroit together. That's just adorable. Well, doesn't scare me too much. But it's a great signing by the Mets. I'm not going to poo-poo it and all that stuff. But the focus for most of the baseball world yesterday was on the Phillies landing Trea Turner and this not being drawn out over a long period of time. Jeff Passett also spiked the football a little bit here by saying, together again, as Trea Turner and Bryce Harper are once again teammates. Of course, they were teammates for a few years down there in D.C. with the Nationals. And then our own Ellis just did a phenomenal job with this on social media, just posting Trea Turner's career stats, 849 career games. He's got over 1,000 hits, over 120 home runs, 230 stolen bases. What? 36 triples, a 302 batting average, and a 355 on-base percentage. Not too shabby. Let's cut to the chase here. So what are we going to do with the lineup? This is what I like right out of the gate with the lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies. Now that you have Trea Turner in the lineup, and this is one of the most impactful things right here. You got Hoskins. Yeah, me. I got Hoskins batting all the way down there. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5th in the lineup. I like moving Real Muto up. I like putting Harper in there as the cleanup guy. This is when Harper's back from his surgery. But the biggest difference here is Trea Turner leading off, batting in front of Kyle Schwarber. Now, you still have a pretty good lineup while mixing up your lefties and your righties a little bit here. Turner, a right-handed hitter. I want that on-base percentage. I want that batting average. I want that speed. I want that stolen base capability. I want that at the top of the order so that when Kyle Schwarber steps to the plate, he's got somebody on base, not just for the RBI factor, but also in the later innings, guess who you're not walking? Kyle Schwarber. That's who you're not walking. Because why? Trea Turner's already going to be on first base. And then you know what? If he steals second, and then you got first base open, go ahead, you filthy bastard. Go ahead and put 2 guys on for Real Muto and Harper. I double dog dare you. For the people on the podcast that can't see the lineup, I got Turner, Schwarber, Real Muto, Harper, Hoskins, Bohm, Castellanos, Stott, Marsh. That's what I got for you. Yeah, remember Brandon Marsh? Yeah, okay. This is the lineup that I would go with as of right now on December 6th, 2022. This is the lineup I would go with when Harper comes back. Of course, it'll be mixed up with the opening day and have Castellanos higher than that. And so it's probably not going to be this, but this is what I would roll out on opening day, that is. But this is what I would roll out. I know some people might have hesitancy about moving Schwarber out after a 40. Why mess with a great thing when he had 46 home runs, he had a great approach at the plate, and all that stuff? Well, because I want somebody to be on base. And Kyle Schwarber also, and all the great things he did this year, I would like still fewer strikeouts. And I think if you move him down in the order, I think you could give him an opportunity here where he's got somebody batting behind him that could knock in some runs. I think there's an opportunity there for him to see even more good pitches and drive in more runs. It ain't just about the home runs. It's about the ribbies as well. So I go Turner, Schwarber, Real Muto, Harper, Hoskins, Bohm, Castellanos, Stott, Marsh. Hoskins batting down that far is probably the most impactful thing that you could have with Trea Turner, moving him up to the top of the order. Now, Trea Turner last year was predominantly a 2nd or 3-hole hitter in the lineup. He has over 2,000 plate appearances as a leadoff hitter, So that's not at all a foreign concept to him. You can still bat him second. If you want to keep Schwarber, you can flip those right there. If you're a big believer in the righty-lefty thing, maybe you don't do that. But Schwarber leading off, still very much a possibility. Then you would have Turner, Harper, maybe. Then Real Muto batting cleanup or batting fifth, maybe. There's a lot of juggling you could do. Now, the other thing about this is what might be a Phillies colored, red colored glasses. Red October, if you will. And that's Castellanos. Nick Castellanos in this lineup here is a very interesting X factor because I don't think he's going to have the down year. By the way, I have him as the DH when Harper comes back. Harper goes back into right field, Castellanos or DH. And you can do that with Hoskins as well. You bring in another first baseman. Hell, you can also still re-sign Gene Segura. And then what do you do with Bryson Stott? What do you do with Alec Bohm? Maybe move Alec Bohm to first base. Maybe you're taking a guy like Stott. You're putting him at third. Maybe that's what you're doing to keep Gene Segura there at second base. So there's a lot of things you can still do, but this is the basic lineup I'd be looking at right now with the Phillies. But Castellanos, I don't expect to have, he could hit 260, 265 again. But anything below 25 home runs for Nick Castellanos, I would be shocked. Yes, I do think Hoskins is back next year, and I know a lot of people are disappointed about that. I'm sorry. But it's going to happen. He's going to be back next year. I have full confidence in that happening. Just like I had full confidence. If you haven't seen in our man Trea Turner coming here, if you haven't taken a glance, at least at his baseball reference page, here are the numbers right now all across the board. 7 years with Washington, won a World Series there. I left that out. 2 years most recently here with the Dodgers. Was an All-Star last year. It was his second All-Star appearance. He's been in the top 11 in the MVP voting 3 times in his career. He's been in the top 5 once in his career in the 2021 season. So 2 years ago, and that was during his trade to the Nationals as well, or excuse me, from the Nationals to the Dodgers as well. So we all should know at this point what Trea Turner can bring to the table. And I have to give so much credit to Dave Dombrowski. I have to give so much credit to John Middleton for signing off on this. And I got to give a lot of credit to Bryce Harper because if you remember, at the end of last year, at the end of the World Series, which, by the way, I still think about being like, wow, the Phillies were in the World Series. What the hell? As I sip from my Red October hot beverage cup, I think to myself, at the end of the year, Bryce Harper came out at his locker in Houston, and he was talking about making additions to this team. On the very next show that I did the following morning, the name I mentioned was Trea Turner. And that's not because I had like some inside source or some, I was clairvoyant about what was going to happen in the future. I think most people, he was the favorite. Trea Turner was the Phillies were the favorite to land Trea Turner. And John Morrissey, we played it for you when he was on with John Clark of NBC Sports Philly. John Morrissey said it when John Morrissey was on MLB. Yeah, he had said it. Jason Stark had recently said that the number one landing spot was the Phillies for Trea Turner. So all the signs were pointing to him coming here to Philadelphia. But all I needed to hear was Bryce Harper saying that it was his favorite player to watch. They're buddies, right? I found it interesting that one of the reports that came out there, I think it was John Morrissey, saying that Trea Turner was a Florida kid. So he wanted to train. He wanted to be with a team that trained in Florida for spring training. I'm like, all right, well, a couple extra months at home. All right, good for you, man. In your home state, I guess. So whatever works. But I have to give so much credit to Dave Dombrowski, John Middleton, and Bryce Harper for making it well known what his feelings were about why he signed here in Philadelphia. $330 million certainly helps, but also a winning atmosphere can help a little bit more for a guy as competitive as Bryce Harper because he was going to make money anywhere. He wanted to win. And this is the place that he feels he could win. And he wanted to play in front of fans that gave a damn about baseball. And Phillies fans certainly give a damn about baseball. This is an incredible signing by the Phillies. And I was also perusing Twitter and saw my friend Corey Simon tweet out there about how this might not have the majesty. This might not have all the bells and whistles of a Bryce Harper signing. But you could be adding a player to this lineup that's better than Bryce Harper. A better all-around player. First of all, he's going to be your shortstop. So that's pretty important. Second, the on-base percentage. Third, the batting average. The fact that he can hit for power. and he's going to be your leadoff man or your number 2 hitter, that's pretty impactful. That's a pretty big signing. And I guarantee this, the only thing that I would say to contradict, not even contradict, but might give a reason as to why it wasn't as big a deal is because, one, Trea Turner is not the face of baseball. Bryce Harper you can easily argue he is at least a face of baseball. But when it comes to the anticipation, in a good way, we were robbed of that because this happened so quickly. If this got to be February, if this got to be late January, and Trea Turner still hadn't signed, and there was like conversation like there was with Manny Machado and Bryce Harper about the Padres or San Francisco throwing their name in the hat to see if they could get a guy like Bryce Harper or Manny Machado. If it was then, if it was late January, oh man, Trea Turner, no, not today, not today. Trea Turner, no, not a Philly. Oh my God, Trea Turner's going to go to the Yankees. Whatever. No, that can't happen. If all that anticipation and speculation was drawn out, then there would be a lot more hype about this Trea Turner signing. I put it on the same level from a baseball standpoint. Because we didn't have to wait so long, because it's not the same name, it's not as much of a lightning rod of a name like Bryce Harper. Like, you either love Bryce Harper or you hate Bryce Harper. You either love Trea Turner or you love Trea Turner. The Dodgers fans might not love Trea Turner right now, but pretty much everybody else, it's all about the slide at Citizens Bank Park, how cool that was, how chill that was, but it's also about how good a damn ball player this guy is. And the fact that he can, oh my goodness gracious, what do you do at the top of the lineup with this guy instead of like Rhys Hoskins, for instance? Like, you're trading essentially Bryson Stott for Gene Segura. Okay, we'll see how Bryson Stott continues to develop. And you're trading Bryson Stott then for Trea Turner. Okay. See how that works out. And you're also at the same time trading Rhys Hoskins, I believe, as your 1, 2, or 3 hitter. And you're putting Trea Turner in that spot. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And by the way, for him to get these numbers last year in that lineup with the Dodgers, that's a pretty nice thing. Still over 20 home runs, still 100 RBIs last season for the Dodgers. He hit 298, had a 343 on base percentage. He was still able to get on base enough last year to really take advantage of some situations for himself to get you 27 stolen bases. That's pretty impressive. 39 doubles last year and almost a 200 hit season. Oh, and by the way, he plays every day. So, hey, you talk. I'm like, hey, Trea Turner, you need a break? No, I'm good. It's great. It's phenomenal. Philadelphia Phillies, I applaud you. What would your lineup be? Let me know. Hit me up. Would you move Kyle Schwarber out of the leadoff spot? What would you do with Kyle Schwarber? What would you do with Trea Turner? What would you do with this lineup now that Trea Turner is a part of it? Also, are you like me in that you think Nick Castellanos is going to have a bounce back year? When we had Max McGee on from ESPN a couple of weeks ago, one of the things he had talked about was Bryson Stott being ready to break out, be a 20 home run type guy, be a 300 hitter type guy. I mean, you could have a middle of the infield that is pretty impressive. And I know a lot of people will talk about the money, and I was writing down the numbers right here, and I want to make sure I rattle these off to you guys and get them right. But if you look at the numbers right now for the Phillies, for instance, all right, Bryce Harper is on a $330 million deal. Zach Wheeler, $118 million. JT Realmuto, $115 million. Kyle Schwarber, $79 million, cheap, 4 years. Nick Castellanos, 5 years, $100 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Phillies locked up in contracts like $1 billion. That's not too bad. In contracts for those guys. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of dough. That's a lot of bread. And what did it do? I'll tell you what it did. I'll tell you exactly what it did. It bought them a trip to the World Series. And as far as I'm concerned, it's going to buy them a lot more trips to the World Series. Because here's the other part of it. And I didn't think I'd be saying this third name, but I am. Zach Wheeler at the front end of your rotation. Aaron Nola, second in that rotation. Ranger Suarez coming back for another great year. in year 3. Still need a number 4. Still need a number 5. Still need bullpen help. Carlos Rodon. Rodon. All those guys. Let's keep it coming. If the Phillies get Carlos Rodon, I will be. I might do a cartwheel. That's right. You heard me. I might do a cartwheel. Carlos Rodon. Yes, please, and thank you. He's in the market for about 6 years, $30 million per. Here's the other beautiful thing. So the Phillies freed up money with Gene Segura, like a lot of money, like $22 million with just Gene Segura. They're getting, I know you're going to concentrate on the $300 million, but they're getting Trea Turner for 27.7. 27.27, excuse me. That's what's going to be a year for the contract. That's an incredible trade. When I was talking about like trades for the lineup, how it impacts the lineup in the field, you're basically now flipping Gene Segura for Trea Turner. That's a pretty great deal right there. That's a pretty great deal. It's almost as if Dave Dombrowski knows how to win. It's amazing how that works out. So I couldn't be more excited about this. Finally happy that it's, I don't even want to say finally happy that it's over, but I'm finally happy that it's like official. The deal is done. And can next season start? Can that happen yet? I know we're not even done with the Eagles. I know the Sixers are, they just got James Harden back. That's great. They'll get Maxey back in a couple of weeks. That'll be great. I know a lot's going to be happening here. I know the Eagles are going to be getting Devontae Maddox back. I know the Eagles are going to be getting Dallas Goedert back. I know the Eagles got to take care of business against the Giants on Sunday. Then they got to beat the Cowboys on Christmas Eve. There's a whole bunch of stuff that still has to take place. I'm really excited for baseball season. Really excited for Phillies season in particular. Told you guys, bigger Phillies fan than I am a baseball fan now, thanks to certain politics of baseball. But this is pretty spectacular. 76ers last night, ladies and gentlemen. It's unfortunate, but they took the L last night in double OT, 132-123. Joel Embiid, 39 points, 12 of 21 from the floor, 14 of 17 for the free throw line. Fouled out. The Sixers did not play the second overtime period with Joel Embiid because he fouled out at the end of the overtime period, of the first overtime period. And that was after putting the Sixers up with a beautiful little mid-range jump shot. Goes down the other end, gets called for a foul. Sixers question it. Sixers review it. Challenge it. Call stands. I thought it was a little ticky-tack. Refs in Houston thought it was not. And the Sixers lose that game, the third game of this road trip. So they were 0-3 on the road trip. Also last night, pretty incredible night for Tobias Harris. 7 of 8 from beyond the arc. D'Anthony Melton, by the way, got the start last night. James Harden did come back, had 21 points, was 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Only 4 of 19 from the floor, including 4 of 11 from beyond the arc. He had 7 assists in the game. Also had 7 turnovers. Joel Embiid had 5 turnovers. So it was a tough game there. Not a lot of help on the bench, but Shake Milton was able to get you 11 points in 26 minutes. And you did not have your man, George Niang, play last night. He missed the game. So rough night for the Sixers, no question about that. Also yesterday, the Flyers won 5-3. Like I said earlier, the Flyers are just showing off at this point. They won just last week, and then they go ahead and they win again? What the hell? Carter Hart was incredible. I want to say midway through the third period, had a flurry of saves. Just out of nowhere. They started to crack that code a little bit in that second period, but the Flyers got the win over the Colorado Avalanche last night, 5-3. And Tom Brady helped your Philadelphia Eagles win, with their draft stock last night. That's what took place last night in the football game between the Saints and the Buccaneers. Last night, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trailed 16-3 with like 5 minutes left in the in the fourth quarter. Tom Brady then started engineering his comeback. I believe it was his 44th career fourth quarter comeback. They're down 16-3 with about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Tom Brady engineers a 10-play, 91-yard drive that ends in a touchdown to make it 16-10, and that drive just took 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Then, with 3 seconds left, drops back to pass, game-winning touchdown. By the way, shout out to Todd Bowles' defense down there in Tampa, and I don't know what the hell the Saints were doing, but the Saints were trying to milk the clock, could barely do it. They get into a 3rd and 17. I think they ended up taking just 31 seconds off the clock after Tom Brady and the Bucs made it 16-10. So then they give the ball right back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Tom Brady, in 2 minutes and 26 seconds, marches him down the field, and with 3 seconds left, drops back. That was an 11-play drive, by the way. Drops back, hits Rashad White, for the game-winning touchdown, 17-16. Bucs win, Saints lose. Saints draft stock, of course, belongs to the Eagles, and the Eagles have the 5th overall pick in the NFL draft. It was a busy night in the world of sports, all involving, all encompassing Philadelphia. And this is only adding to the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles are 11-1 on the season. Not too shabby. Most recently, our man, Pots and Pans, Nick Sirianni addressed his locker room after the win over the Titans. And this is what Nick Sirianni had to say. And I hadn't even thought about this part of it. But here's Nick Sirianni after the win adjusting the locker room.
Hey, that might have been our most complete game as a team. Right there. Offense, defense, hey, special team. Wait a Hey, I got a lot of faith in the guys running that special teams unit with Coach Clay. Right, I got a lot of faith in you guys that are out there executing. Let's just keep stepping it up there. Excellent job, great bounce back game. It was huge in the field position. Huge. How about it, Brent Covey? Nice job, man. Hey, great job. It was an excellent job. Let's go, let's pray. We got a lot to be thankful for.
Gotta love it. Love the shout out to special teams. Fantastic. Look, as I'll always say, if you're bitching and moaning about special teams, you probably have a pretty good football team. If your team is terrible, usually even if your special teams is terrible, it's like, our special teams even suck. But in the way that we've been talking about the Eagles this year, if you're then bitching about special teams, then yeah, you have a pretty good football team, because they are not exactly number one on the priority list when it comes to things. When it comes to ships, you want to make sure are running right on your football team. Not that they're not important. They are important, but they're certainly not as important as their defense is running, or certainly your offense is running, or how your quarterback's playing, or your wide receivers, or whatever. So I digress. Most complete game of the year is what jumped out to me from Nick Sirianni in his post-game speech. Also, I mean, his emotion, as per usual, was off the charts. But what's really amazing to me is the Eagles' complete game status. Through the first part of the year, the Eagles, Lions, Vikings, Commanders, Jaguars, even the Cardinals, to a degree, the Cowboys, the Steelers a little bit, they started to break out of this. All those games in your first 6-7 games of the season were all second quarter points. I believe at that point in the season, you had scored 70% of your points in the second quarter. You still scored a hell of a lot of points in the second quarter, even in recent weeks. They had 14 points against the Tennessee Titans in the second quarter, excuse me. But it was another balanced game. And they have done this where they've been able to score in all four quarters. But again, they tee off in the second quarter with 2 touchdowns, but they had an opening quarter touchdown in the first, 14 points, 7 points in the third, 7 points in the fourth. Defensively speaking, there have been a couple of different instances this year, I believe 4 instances this year, where you've been able to hold your opponent throughout the game to 10 or fewer points. And this is the third time you were able to do that. So there hasn't been many. You've scored over 20 points in almost every game this season. You've been pretty consistent offensively speaking. This game, though, was, as I described it after the A.J. Brown touchdown, this was the first one. This was a game that I felt like the Eagles could toy with their opponent. Defensively, I already felt like when I saw Marcus Epps coming up and filling gaps and stopping Derrick Henry, I was like, this is going to be a pretty good game for the Eagles defense, because the defensive line hasn't even gotten it going yet. But when A.J. Brown scored on that 40-yard touchdown pass, to make it 14-7. I felt like this was going to be the Eagles' game to control. Then he ends up scoring again in the third quarter on that wide open play. Woo-hoo, baby! Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. But I felt like the Eagles could toy with the Titans in this game. And listening to Nick Sirianni talk about it after the game there with how he addressed the locker room, this was their most complete game of the season. By far. Their most complete game of the season. There was never a moment where you're worried about this game. If you were worried about this game, that's on you, but I think you were few and far between. I think those people that were worried, I don't know if they're going to do it. I think most people were pretty confident about this one because, look, Ryan Tannehill's a good quarterback, but he's not an explosive quarterback. He had a couple of good games. The bell was going to strike midnight on him eventually anyway. It's just that Jonathan Gannon, this defensive line, these linebackers, and the secondary were there for the pumpkin carriage, man. They were just waiting for it. And Ryan Tannehill did not have an answer for it. And how aggressive these defensive linemen were in, again, a 6-sack game where you don't see a lot of blitzing. You just see guys winning one-on-one battles and getting into the backfield and bringing down Ryan Tannehill. That was a complete game by your defensive line. That was a complete game by your entire defense. And offensively, you put up 35 points, which is obviously over the league average, over your average for the season. Yeah, I'd say that's a complete game. And what I loved about it, and we got into this a little bit yesterday, talking about how tough the Titans were. And this is why I still like the Eagles over the Cowboys. And I'm going to say this with this little caveat. They play the Giants on Sunday. Everyone is already looking to Christmas Eve against the Dallas Cowboys. Let's not do that just yet. All right, but they play the Giants on Sunday, so I just want to make that caveat. But this is why I'm not afraid or scared of the Cowboys. And I'll also say this. I respect the Cowboys. I acknowledge that they're a pretty damn good football team. And I know they have a guy named Micah Parsons playing for them on the defensive side of things. And I know that the Eagles beat them already, but they didn't have Dak Prescott, which affects the game more than just offense. It also affects defense because how long their Eagles defense will be on the field and how long the Commanders, the Cowboys defense is off the field. And having a better quarterback certainly can affect everything in the game. It's not just an offensive thing. But this offense put up 26 points on that defense. That was a touchdown more. At the time, it was 10 points more than what the Cowboys were averaging at that point in the season. That's a touchdown more. Jalen Hurts has already seen this defense. And the reason you can't compare how well this Cowboys defense has played versus every other quarterback they faced is that no other quarterback is Jalen Hurts. You could talk about being aggressive. That's great. We all love an aggressive defense here in Philadelphia. We can all talk about getting after the quarterback. It's the same thing that has gone into just about every game this season. You talk about a team executing their strength, like the Cowboys, getting after a quarterback, being aggressive, ball hawking, whatever. Talk about all of that. Well, the Eagles have the perfect answer to that. They have a very versatile quarterback. Maybe the most versatile quarterback in the NFL right now in Jalen Hurts. Scrambling ability, extending play ability, accuracy, ability to throw the ball downfield, patience, pre-snap reads. Jalen Hurts is checking every box. I'm not saying this because I'm putting Jalen Hurts up in, amongst the greats of all time. But right now, at this given moment, this season, the Eagles have a great quarterback. Is he Tom Brady? No. Is he Peyton Manning? Is he Brett Favre? Is he any of the greats? Is he Dan Marino? No. I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about the GOAT, the most overused term in the history of sports. What I'm talking about is right now, the Eagles have a great quarterback in Jalen Hurts. And I believe that he will continue that and have himself a great career. But right now, if you're the Dallas Cowboy defense and you're trying to draw up a scheme to stop Jalen Hurts, good luck to you. Because Jalen Hurts, you know what he's going to do? What Nick Sirianni said. He's going to do what Jalen Hurts said. He's going to say what everybody else on this team says. No. It's not about one guy beating you. It's not about us beating you with our arm or beating you with our legs or anything like that, or beating you with a tough defense. What's the best way to beat you? We're going to do that. It's not about what we do. It's about what you do, and we're just going to go ahead and beat that. We're going to take that away, or if you're scheming against us in our offense and how our quarterbacks play, we're going to do something different because we can beat you either way. We can beat you in the ground game. We can beat you in the air. We can beat you really however we feel is necessary to win the game. Because the bottom line is the most important stat, winning. 11-1. They're going to find an answer to it. When the Cowboys face the Eagles in 3 weeks, what's going to matter most is how Jalen Hurts plays in that game. Because they're going to try to get to him. Good luck to you. It's going to be a fun one. And I think the Eagles do win that game. First, I think they beat the Giants. And then I forget who they have in between that. Bears, that's right. Giants, Bears, Cowboys. The Giants on the road, the Bears on the road, and the Cowboys on the road. So the next 3 on the road. That's right. I'm really looking forward to seeing that game. Let's win the next 2. Let's see the Eagles win the next 2, and then we'll go from there. But I could not be more pumped. I could be not more excited about how this Eagles team is playing. And then they got the Saints, so they get to control their own destiny when it comes to not just the end of the season, but also how it affects their draft stock. Beat the crap out of the Saints. So, yeah, that's what we got going on for you. And that's New Year's Day. Yay, New Year's Day game. Yay. There you go. All right, let me tell you guys about Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right here in Philadelphia on Jewelers Row. You know what Steven has to offer you? The perfect price. No other jeweler has the perfect price like Steven has the perfect price. Other jewelers like to mark things way up just to mark down a couple of bucks when you negotiate or you haggle just to make you feel like you won. Well, guess what? Why have that pressure when you can walk in knowing you're already a winner? And that's what you get at Steven Singer Jewelers. You get treated like a real family member by a real jewelry expert who will walk you through all the beautiful, dazzling diamond inventory that they have at Steven Singer Jewelers. And you get that perfect price. One place, one price, the perfect price each and every day. Online at IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. How about Manscaped? Because, fellas, you want to look good everywhere, right? And that's where Manscaped enters the conversation. And their Platinum Package 4.0, it's their biggest and best, most ultimate hygiene bundle yet. It includes the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, and they come with skin-safe technology that helps reduce the risk of nicks so you can manscape with confidence and comfort. Plus, the Ultra Premium Body Wash 2-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, crop preserver, anti-chafing ball deodorant, crop reviver ball spray toner, anti-chafing boxers. Where have they been? And the Shed travel bag that'll hold the goods you'll be using to take care of your goods from Manscaped. Manscaped is a leader in below-the-waist grooming. Now you can trust them with the whole shebang. Join 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with promo code FARZI. How about Freestone Farm CBD? FreestoneFarmCBD.com. If you like CBD, if you want to try a different CBD, if you're not satisfied with your CBD right now, FreestoneFarmCBD.com is where to go and use promo code FARZI for 20% off at Freestone Farm CBD. Their menu is something that you'll absolutely have to check out. You'll love their insane tropical tasting Bayox that clocks into the chart topping 24.1%. And Super CBD, which is half Hindu, Kush, and 21%. Genetics of these guys are off the charts. Doesn't get any better. And they grow all their premium hemp flower in the Garden State with all organic inputs and IPM. So there's nothing synthetic from farm to jar. And after harvest, they carefully preserve all their plant compounds with a perfect 3-month cure. Just one look or smell, we'll let you know it's CBD done right. Remember, 20% off when you use promo code FARZI at FreestoneFarmCBD.com. That's FreestoneFarmCBD.com. How about the Mojo and the Mojo app? You like winning money? You like money, do you? Check out Mojo. Go to mojo.com. Download Mojo to your phone right now. Mojo has each player, 300 skilled players, over 300 skilled players in the NFL, quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, wide receivers. All have share prices attached to them, just like the stock market. Each player is a stock. They rise and fall throughout the season and even through the offseason, as anything that can affect their play on the field is taken into account. It's all public. It's all out there. Nothing arbitrary. You know where the player's stock rises and falls. If you think there's a rookie about to break out onto the scene, oh, baby. Buy low, sell high. Make yourself some money. Available in New Jersey right now is the Mojo app. Go to mojo.com for more information. Must be present in New Jersey to trade on Mojo. So check out the Mojo app right now. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. All right, let's get into the chat check. See how you guys are doing. Trea Turner's a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. I do want to go back to this real quick because I did respond to this by Jeff Passan, this picture of Trea Turner and Bryce Harper together. And it just made me think of the scene in Step Brothers, because of course it did, when John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell are going for their job interviews in the tuxedos. Mr. So-and-so we'll see you now for your interview. Actually, we'll be interviewing as a team. We're here to bleep bloop up. That's what it reminded me of. And then also I want to show this to you. Bryson Stott had a great response to Trea Turner becoming a Philly. Just put out the emoji, the hang loose emoji. And who needs Photoshop when you could just white out a player's Dodger uniform and literally draw on it a Phillies uniform? That's pretty incredible. Good job, Bryson Stott. Like it. Like it a lot. All right, let's get into the chat check. Melly! Good morning, Melly. Sean Gillespie. What's going on, Sean? Nice to see you. Happy Trade Day to all my fellow chat checkers. That's very nice of you, Sean. Sean. Kevin. Good morning, Kevin. Kevin. Sean. Melly. Kevin. Judge is not worth the money. Who is? Who is worth the money? If Aaron Judge isn't worth the money, I don't know anyone is. I'll tell you that much. Sean Gillespie. I will unbutton the top of my shirt today also. This shirt is rather cleavagey. Like, I don't like that button. Like, I button this. This is just weird. This feels weird. It feels like boxy, right? And then there's people that do this, right? They go all the way up. I feel like a minister. That's not for me. No. Freedom. That's why I live in America. All right. Mally, I smoked Trey joints all at once in celebration. Sean Gillespie, Brady not dead. You're right, he's not dead. Do you think Howie will trade the top pick for more picks? Mally, it's very possible. RJ, what's up, RJ? Level, they beat Dallas with Dak, Sean. What? I don't know what you're saying, RJ. They beat Dallas with Dak, Sean. Oh, that will be good money. Oh, yes. Okay, RJ, I think you're saying. So if they beat Dallas with Dak, Sean Gillespie, that would be good money. Yeah, damn right it would be. I think it depends on Carter Anderson. PJ, you're right. Oh, wow. Is that where I have him, PJ? So PJ is saying if you told anybody in baseball they could have Nick Castellanos at 5 to 6, they'd pay you extra. Is that where I have it? Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Hey, Bohm had a better year, man. I'm putting Bohm up there. Bohm, Hoskins, Bohm, Castellanos, Stott, Marsh. Thumbs up, thumbs down, PJ. Oh, no bueno. No, that's a thumbs up. PJ gives me the thumbs up. Thank you, Peach. John Cheesebarrow, good morning. Blue City Empire Sports. As a Yankees fan, I'm hoping we will have a Yankees-Phillies World Series rematch in 2023. I don't hate the Phillies because they are not in my division, but I was rooting for them in the 2022 World Series. Well, thank you, Blue City Sports. Somehow the Yankees and Padres always have the connection with each other. They trade players to each other. John Cheesebro, definitely need at least one more starter that can help right now. Not sure Painter, Abel will be ready to go in the opening day roster. And John, I'm right there with you. That's why I stopped at Suarez. They did say they're going to keep it open for a young arm. So we'll see what happens. Oh, wow, John. No more bullpen games in cap locks. I hate bullpen games. I hate particularly how bullpen games have become acceptable in the postseason. Are you insane? Crazy. Sean, good morning. Hello again. I hope Castellanos has a comeback here. Yep, I agree. April. April, I'll tell you right now, I think Verlander is on a retirement deal. I am not worried. Very good pitcher. I think he's going to have a very good year. I don't think he's going to be a Cy Young contender next year. I think he's on a retirement deal. I'm not terrified of Justin Verlander. What else do we have here, John? So April, no, I'm not concerned. John Cheesebro, April, I don't think I'm scared. I like this, John to April. I don't think I'm scared of Verlander. I don't like it, but it doesn't strike fear in me. Okay, I think, John, I think you and I are on the same page. Scherzer with them as well. Hey, Blue City Sport. Hey, man. Yeah, as long as the Phillies win the World Series, I'm happy. Mets pitching is good. Not denying that. Mihai, what's up, Mihai? Morning, Mark. Everyone, happy Trey Day. Ring the bell. Phillies versus Yankees rematch better happen. I hope Judge stays in the Bronx and out of the National League. Here. Do you want to see the Yankees Phillies World Series? Yes, I do. Bring me the evil empire, says John. 2009 still hurts, according to April. It absolutely does. And you know what hurts so much about that? I'm going to say right now, other than just losing the World Series, Chase Utley hit like 5 home runs in that World Series. You had Cliff Lee. Cliff Lee's Game 1 performance, bar none, was the most fun I ever had watching a pitching performance. Bar none. More than the late, great Roy Halladay's perfect game, more than his no-hitter in the postseason. Watching Cliff Lee pitch that game with the behind-the-back catch, with the pop fly catch, just watching him dominate in that Game 1 was the most fun I ever had watching a pitcher pitch. Bar none. That stung. Ryan Howard coming up small up until I think his last at bat in the World Series. He hit a home run in Game 6. Johnny Damon taking third base. Cole Hamels throwing a curveball to Andy Pettit. What? Yeah, it still hurts. It still hurts. Oh boy. What is happening? Charles Attlee. What's going on? Watching from Nassau in the Bahamas. Oh, outstanding stream. Oh, thank you, Charles. Nice to have you back, bud. Serious off-topic question. How does one listen to Marilyn Mike on my phone? I try Odyssey, but it always cuts off. Any help would be fantastic. So I think it's $100. Have I already lost you? T-Bro. So I have NFL Game Pass. I forget what they call it now, NFL Plus. But I can listen to Marilyn Mike. I think you can pick the home or away radio broadcast, and that's how you can listen to them on the radio. So that's what you can do right there. Like I said, I think it's 100. Did I say $100 a month? It's just $100. It's $100 for NFL Plus, and I'm pretty sure with that, you can check it out on NFL.com or just go to NFL Game Pass. Let me help a brother out right now. It's literally in my shortcut bar, so let me just hit the button. NFL Plus. Yeah, you can do that. NFL Plus, like $100 for the year. It might be at 109 now. So yeah, Empire Sports. Do you have any little concern playing again? Kayvon Thibodeau this season and somewhere in the future? Yes, no, maybe? Not so much. Did we help everybody? Did we get everybody? I think we got everybody. Thanks, everybody. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. What's my opinion on the Giants? Oh, that's okay. All right. Yes. Here's my opinion on the Giants. They're a very good football team. NFL Plus $7.99 a month. Is that what we're doing now? $7.99 a month? Beep up up. Yeah, it's about 100. Yeah, a little over 100. So yeah. What's my opinion on the Giants this year? Giants are a good football team. They're a very well coached football team. They've been banged up over the last couple of weeks. They just got they got Neal back on the offensive line. They got John Feliciano back on the offensive line. They missed a couple of games there with, I believe they both had neck injuries. Dory Jackson, did he make his way back last week? And who else is it? Fabian Moreau? Morio? What's his last name? Very good football team, very well-coached football team. But the bottom line is, I will never fear a team that has Daniel Jones as their quarterback. That's the bottom line of it. Saquon Barkley, I'm not kidding when I say this, is one of the, just pure talent and skill-wise, one of the best running backs I've ever seen. I'm not making that up. I'm not going for a hot take. When I watch Saquon Barkley, I'm dazzled for the most part. Absolutely dazzled when watching Saquon Barkley. Love watching Saquon Barkley. I'm not a big Penn State guy. I have no weird allegiancy. I love watching that guy run with a football in his hands, except when it's against the Eagles. But Daniel Jones as a quarterback does not scare me. I feel like when push comes to shove, in big moments, Daniel Jones is going to poop the bed. Perfect example, has a 96-yard touchdown run right there, and he trips over the 10-yard line? You moron. I just don't fear Daniel. Or overtime against the Commanders, he and his backfield are completely confused as to what the hell they're supposed to do at any given moment. True, that might not have been Daniel Jones' fault, but doesn't matter. He was there. I blame him because he's not that good as a quarterback. I think, what's his name? Colin Cowherd summed him up rather well. Duke. If you had to describe Daniel Jones, what would you say? Duke. He's a Duke quarterback. That's how I describe him. So, yeah, I'm not fearful of the New York Giants because I don't fear Daniel Jones. That was a chat check. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you guys, as per usual. Wonderful stuff. Let's get into the Morning Rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars. SkyMotorcars.com. Phillies start spring training February 26th. It's the first time. It's the earliest I've ever done a baseball thing. Phillies start spring training against the Twins on February 26th. Trea Turner hopefully makes his debut. Eagles, Giants. I see I even did there. Eagles, Giants, 1 o'clock this Sunday. That's their kickoff. Sixers will try to get off the schneid now that they're back to 500 basketball at 12-12 on the season. They're back at it. They got a couple of days off here before they host the Lakers. ESPN game, 7:30. And that is Wednesday night, I believe. No, I'm sorry. That's Friday night. So they got a nice little layoff here. Flyers, oh my goodness gracious. They're going to try to continue their winning ways as they've won 2 of their last 4. Just showing off. They got the Capitals tomorrow night, 7:30. They host the Capitals in South Philadelphia. So hopefully we see a nice game again for the Flyers, and they show off their winning ways even more. That'll be fun. I didn't give the total number, by the way. Carter Hart had 29 saves last night in the win over the Colorado Avalanche. So that's a nice thing. And your goal scores. I want to make sure I give you your goal scores for last night's game, of course, because I know you guys are just chomping at the bit to know your goal scores. Konechny, TK had another goal last night. So that was good. Tippett had a goal for the Flyers as well. I'm going to butcher this name. Lagzinski, I believe. He had a goal for the Flyers as well. A couple of defensemen as well. Tony DeAngelo last night. Travis Sanheim tipped in goals for the Flyers as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you take nothing else from this broadcast today, simply take the fact that Trea Turner is a Philadelphia Philly. I'm a happy man. I'm a very, very happy man. Dave Dombrowski, John Middleton, Bryce Harper. Couldn't thank you enough for this. And I'll say it one more time. I don't think a bolder statement was ever said and backed up more than what John Middleton said about spending stupid money. He said it. He did it. He's got a Phillies World Series appearance under his belt now as the managing partner, I believe is his proper title, of the Philadelphia Phillies. And I don't think the Phillies are done. I think they're going to add another arm. I don't think it's going to be a bullpen piece. I think it's going to be a starter. I don't know if it's going to be Carlos Rodon, but I think it's going to be impactful. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the Farzy Show, presented by Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. Oh, how do I forget? PJ. Aaron Judge. Still potential that he goes to San Francisco. I think he stays in New York. But as PJ pointed out to me, the Giants organization is doing some heavy petting with Aaron Judge, and they're just throwing as much money as humanly possible at him to try to lure away. First off, you're competing with New York, so good luck to you in that. Second, is Gabe Kapler making those calls?
Aaron, I want you to come out here to San Francisco. I want to rub your shoulders. Let's talk about baseball.
Like, if that's what's happening, I don't know if Aaron Judge is going to be down for that.
Yeah, you like money, but how do you feel about coconut oil?
Like, is that really what's going to do it? Is that really what's going to push him over the top?
Hold on, hear me out. Ready? 2 words. Curveball machine.
I don't know. All right, that's the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the Farzy Show, presented by Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. Jim Hyden produced the program, affectionately known as PJ. Did a wonderful job. This is a Buzz Sports Entertainment production. My name is Mark Farzy. Have a great day, everybody. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Trea Turner's a Philly. How about that?